Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we go again, episode 54 at Face Value. I'm Brian.
I'm Lucas.
Super pumped to have you back again. Will is going to join us here in a little bit. He is busy out working on the farm. He's a true working man. So we'll see him here in a little bit once we start diving into all of our football coverage, everything like that.
He might be on
Um,
a tractor.
yeah, he's probably currently on a tractor fixing tires or whatever it was he was doing.
Yeah.
Something that we always appreciate other people doing that for us because
Yep.
it's not a job I would want, that's for sure. But
If he doesn't make it in, though, we'll make his picks for him.
there you go. Stanford obviously being at the top, and
Wake Forest, Dark Horse.
yeah. So we'll get into it. As we start every week, we'll start with our hugs and our hikes. So you got a hug you want to start off with?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my hug to Dustin Poirier. Last night, retired from the UFC. Not a huge UFC guy, but being from Louisiana, he has a storied career. He ended up losing last night to Holloway, but yeah, just a good dude, good in the community in Louisiana. Very, very likable guy. So shout out to him, to an awesome career, and I'm sure he's going to stay in the sport and do maybe commentating or something. But just a great dude overall. So
Isn't he also doing the Ultimate Fighter right now?
I don't know. I don't keep up with it too much. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think he's doing it against. Is it him?
I'm not sure.
I think it might be him going against Chael Sonnen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I want to say that he's the one that's involved in all that. So
Yeah,
it'd be kind of cool. So
absolutely.
yeah, no, I didn't get to watch the fight, but
Mm-mm.
it sounded like it was a good one. I mean, I know Holloway won on a unanimous victory,
Yeah,
but
unanimous.
I'm sure it was a good one going out. So
And it was in New Orleans, which is cool.
oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it was
So
good for him.
getting a good send off for him.
Yep.
So no, that's awesome. For my hug, I was going to send a hug out to Teddy Bridgewater. So there's a there's a whole story going out right now.
Yep.
There's very mixed stories. Like, so apparently the high school he worked for, the Northwestern high school that he was working, he was providing Uber rides for kids to games. Or home. He's providing meals. He's providing recovery services. He's providing all these different things. Allegedly, he got suspended. Well, he came out and he said you can't get suspended from a school that you don't work for. Because I guess since he was in the NFL last year, he wasn't officially employed. He self-reported all the expenses to the team, so they kind of reported themselves for doing it. So unofficially, he's been suspended. But anytime you have a guy like that steps up and helps the community, and especially kids when they're not able to really provide their own way, especially food and rides, stuff like that, it's just really cool. So
I just don't understand the difference between that and like a PTA, right? Parents of a community raising money for their kids,
yeah,
to get better equipment and get better, like those walkout,
yeah,
where they run out of the tunnel things. Like, come on, man.
It's like the private donations. Yeah, exactly. It's all the same thing. But I guess since he was employed with the school when he was doing it, but I don't know. I mean, there's so many rules and regulations and all that, but I mean, regardless, I mean, it's still a cool gesture by him. I mean, and like what he said, he's like, if it means that I have to coach or help from the stands again this year, he's like, then I have no problem doing that either. So, yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to him. So,
yeah.
What about your hike?
My hike's gonna go to the WNBA. I feel like this is a running hike, a perpetual hike.
I thought that was one of my candidates. So
yeah, I figured it would be. I'm sure if Will was here, it'd be on his list too. The shirts that they wore out at the beginning of the WNBA All-Star game. I don't know. I guess I'm not an economist, but I'm pretty sure. So if anybody who hasn't seen it, their shirt said, "Pay us what we're owed," or something like that.
Pay us what you owe us. Yeah.
Pay us what you owe us. They play basketball for a good wage. Like, they're playing a game. At the end of the day, it's not making money. It's losing money every single year. They're in the red every single year. Just be grateful that you get to play a basketball game and get paid a living wage.
Well, if you really get technical about it, they're not in the red. The NBA itself goes in the red, supporting the WNBA. So
it's just wild. It's wild to see that. And don't get me wrong, there's some marketable players in there, and they're probably getting paid way more than the bench players in, I don't know, where Chicago or wherever they're playing. But
Right.
I just don't understand um, the entitlement there. If it was making money, absolutely they deserve more. But
When it's kind of going off, and I know a lot of it stems from the women's soccer team. You know, they went through their whole
yeah,
Title IX lawsuit and they got increased wages. So they, in a roundabout way, they make the same as the U.S. men's team. Like the way that they get paid, it's different ways that they get their wages and stuff like that. But yeah, but like on the WNBA side, like what you said is like last year. I think we've even mentioned this before. Last year, it cost the NBA $50 million. They went $50 million in the hole just to support the WNBA. And so somebody actually, I saw somebody one time actually tweet out and said, okay, if you want to get paid what you're worth, then you take the $50 million into account, you divide among the players. And so every player would owe the NBA about $17,000. So that would technically be
what you owe.
your due wages is
Yeah,
you would pay to play every single year. So yeah, it's crazy. I don't understand it either, but I mean, like you said, you're still getting paid a good wage. I mean, if you're good, like the marketable players, they're still getting their sponsorships and everything like that. So they're still getting plenty of money out of it, but it's just an ongoing thing. So
yeah. I don't want to get into the weeds of it too much, but fair market value is what determines these types of things. It's it just is what it is. And same thing in women's soccer. Like tournaments don't pay out as much because there's not as much sponsorships with ad revenues, and the tournaments don't pay out as much in the World Cup as the men's do. That just is what it is, just like the NBA
right,
compared to the WNBA. In a perfect world, absolutely, they should be paid equally, whatever, but that's just not how it works. You're not going to go pay a mechanic who doesn't fix your vehicle correctly the same amount as if you would like the top mechanic for Formula One.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, I would want that Formula One mechanic to work on my car.
But that's not reasonable.
No. And he makes a lot more money than just some Joe Schmo who does mechanic work on the side.
Exactly. So
Because I'm sure he would like to make the same amount of money. I don't know if that was a good analogy or not.
yeah, but I mean, it's going to be an ongoing debate. I mean, it just depends like whether the NBA is going to cave or not. I mean, really, like I know we kind of texted about it earlier too. It's like let's just say that the NBA says we're not going to invest in this and we're just going to stop funding the WNBA. Now what? So now you're forced to go off your own wages, you're forced to go off all your own stuff, and that's not sustainable. So then your league ends up collapsing, and now all of our best players are going and playing in Europe and other places.
But whenever you're talking about rev share as well, now bringing it back to college sports, women's volleyball can make the same case then. Why
Yeah.
aren't we getting as much money as football?
Yep.
That could absolutely be a court case at some point because they have $20.5 million to disperse across all sports.
Yeah. So and
Well,
then like LSU, like you said last week, LSU putting 75% into
football,
just football. So yeah, what's the court case going to come out of that?
because guess where the money is made at LSU?
Yeah, exactly. It's all
In
football.
football.
Like it's not women's basketball. It's not gymnastics, which is they're higher up, women's sports. But
They came out and I think last year LSU's women's basketball was $10 million in the red.
wow,
And I mean, but in the grand scheme of things for LSU, I think it's a net positive to have that $10 million in the red to keep women's basketball relevant because LSU's getting free advertisement every single time. SNL did a skit with Angel Reese wearing an LSU jersey.
yeah,
That's free advertisement.
for sure.
And so they're actually filling up the stadium, the stands at women's basketball games too. It's all the travel costs. You have to think Kim Mulkey makes like $3 million a year.
Yep.
And so there's a third of that $10 million right there that they lost.
Yeah.
And so, but at the end of the day, LSU finds it as it's worth being in the whole $10 million because we're getting all this publicity. They're talking about LSU making Final Four runs. They're all over TV whenever things are going on, so they see it as a positive. But the WNBA, I haven't seen much positive come out of the WNBA over the last 2 years with the whole Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah, because I mean, and that's what they're having to focus on is just a feud with those two. Like that's what made the WNBA even relevant again. I mean, it's kind of been on the downhill the last several years, and it's kind of lifted it back up.
I think the biggest thing that underscores the whole situation too is Shane Gillis's monologue where they panned to that one lady as he introduced her as a WNBA player, and everybody clapped and cheered like they knew who she was.
Yep.
And it was his buddy's wife. That just underscores the whole WNBA situation.
Yeah, he pretty much called out everybody saying, I knew y'all didn't know who WNBA players were. So
for sure. Whenever I saw the clip, I was like, oh, never heard of that WNBA player. And then he came and said that. I was like, oh, well,
makes sense.
Yeah, that's why. But yeah. So the WNBA and the players can kick rocks.
Oh, for sure. So
or take a hike.
Oh, so going off what you were just talking about the SB, so all the people that are still involved in the woke culture with sports, like they can go take a hike. Like, so Disney went out on a limb. Disney owns ESPN. They let Shane Gillis go out there, and he absolutely crushes his monologue. Like you said, like the WNBA stuff, like calling out different players, absolutely hilarious content. I mean, I know not a lot of people are, or there's some people that aren't a fan of Shane Gillis, but I mean, he came out, said it like it was, and then like just watching that, it's like it was a great monologue, and then people just refuse to laugh at it just because it's like, well, I don't want to get canceled, and so it was just such a.
I thought it was great.
Oh yeah. And what made it even funnier is that like it's great jokes. Like I'm cracking up laughing, and you hear the crowd like audibly like forcing themselves to not laugh. Like,
and it was like awkward because nobody was laughing, and he just kept going.
Yeah.
So the awkwardness made it funny too.
Like one of the funniest things, he was like, "I can tell y'all don't like me very much. That's all right." Like,
and then like he was about to say when he's like, "Let's see how this goes."
Yeah. Dude, yeah, the Bill Belichick joke, dude, that one had me rolling, dude.
There were multiple in there that, yeah, just great comedy, and it's just like Dave Chappelle, and we won't get into too much on a tangent, but Dave Chappelle says some pretty like off the wall, probably not politically correct things, but it's funny. It's comedy. That's what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to go into a comedy show or a situation where you know it's supposed to be comedy and get your feelings hurt. That's why South Park has done so well for so many years. South Park is still rolling.
I was just about to say that, like, South Park is like the ultimate example, which goes like with the comedians is like,
but they make fun of themselves too.
That's what I mean is like, so you have to laugh at the situation. Like, it's just funny. Like the fact that people like they get so offended by everything. Again, we don't want to tangent here, but it's like, just laugh. Like, it's okay. Like if you don't agree with something, like we're making fun of ourselves for being ridiculous a lot of times.
Like Shane Gillis with the Caitlin Clark thing, he made fun of himself being a white guy from the Midwest nailing threes. Like he's making fun of himself as well.
Exactly.
And it's funny.
Yeah. Like people just have a hard time.
And it's clever. It's a very clever line.
Yes.
So I don't know. But that's a great hike.
So yeah, so all the woke people just take a hike. So
yeah.
So yeah, so we'll get Will's. We can sneak him at the end or something. We can see if he's got, he's probably got a couple hikes. He usually does. So
yeah, I'm sure there's some brewing in there.
Oh yeah, but again, like we've been talking about, not a lot going on out in the sports world. Scotty Scheffler won the Open this weekend. It was his fourth major that he's won already. So I mean, obviously, like he's just over the last several years, he's been the most consistent player. I know we've talked about the ones that they've gone on those streaks where, they're good for a little bit and they kind of topple off. But he's kind of one of those, like he just really hasn't struggled the last couple years at least. So it's kind of cool for him, kind of getting that win. And they were kind of showing like I saw one thing. It was he and Tiger Woods, like between the time that they won their first major and their second major, it was like the exact same amount
Really?
of days. So I think they even won the same first major. I don't remember what it was, if it was the Masters or what it was. And then it was exactly 1,197 days, and they won their fourth major, and they both won the Open. So as their fourth one, so I thought that was kind of cool. But
The big difference though is Tiger did it as a teenager in his early
oh
20s.
yeah,
Scotty's 29,
mm-hmm.
so he's still relatively young for golf in a golf sense.
Yeah,
So there's plenty of time to keep winning. But Tiger did it at such a young age, was just starting to win his majors in his early 20s.
I think he's just so much more dominant too.
Yeah.
Like
Well, Scotty's been dominant. Scotty has been more up and down in some of these smaller tournaments. He rises to the occasion for the majors, I feel
right,
like he sputtered out of the gates at the beginning of this PGA season.
yeah, for sure.
He was struggling a little bit and couldn't find his short game and that kind of thing. But he turned it on this weekend. And
Well, I know one thing we've talked about before too is like when Tiger Woods played, there wasn't a lot of like there were some good golfers, but there wasn't like a huge amount of competition. Like we've talked about now, it's like there's so many guys that but whether it's guys that come out of nowhere and win one, or there's other guys that have been good, they just haven't been able to get over the hump to win a major. Like, just seems like everything's just been a lot more competitive
yeah,
in today's age, to where it's a lot harder to win. So, I mean, it is a testament to him being able to still
oh yeah,
be as consistent as he's been, especially like in the major stuff like that. So,
agreed.
kind of cool for him. But other than that, man, I don't really know what else is going on. And you seen anything going on?
I mean, the All-Star game was this week. I didn't watch a second of it.
I didn't either.
I didn't watch a second of the All-Star game or the home run derby. I did see that the All-Star game ended on a home run off
Yeah,
or something, and Kyle Schwarber ended up winning MVP because he hit 3 homers on his
three swings.
his 3 swings. Thank God that doesn't determine home field in the play or in the World Series now with an ending like that. But no, I didn't watch it. I guess Cal Raleigh won the home run derby as well.
Yeah, he did.
I think he's the first catcher to ever do it. I believe I saw that.
And he was hitting from both sides of the plate.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. So I think the first round he hit right-handed, and the second round he hit left-handed, and I think he went back to right-handed. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of. I didn't realize he was even switch hitter. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, so that was kind of crazy, but
and then now just the back half of the season starting back up, and I mean,
and get rolling.
Yeah, it's the dog days now.
So one thing I was gonna do was we could do like a quick check-in on our division winners.
Oh yeah,
see where we're sitting right now. So for the AL Central or for the AL West, we had the Astros sweeping. Astros been struggling big time.
Leads down now to 4, I think.
Yeah, it's down to 4 games after today, which is honestly shocking
that they won today.
Because they've lost 6 out of their last or 7 out of their last 9, something like that. Like it's been crazy. But yeah, so they're sitting in first place currently, but I mean, I know it's kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but dude, just so many more injuries. Like had another one today with Short going out with rib soreness. Paredes pulling up yesterday, going out like
with a hammy.
The IL, like it's like a World Series lineup on the IL right now,
it's
dude.
It's pretty nuts.
This is crazy. Pretty much, I think Altuve is the only starter that's not currently on the IL, and Walker
and Diaz.
I think it's only 3. So 3 out of 9 spots.
The rest is
because really most of the
AAA
team. Yeah, dude, it's like it's a AAA lineup that they're sending out there. So
and they scored 11 runs today.
Yeah, of course. After they scored, well, I guess they scored 6 yesterday and then 1 on Friday, but
which is why a few weeks ago when we were talking about after the sweeping of the Dodgers, just being a little skeptical, cautiously optimistic on kind of them going forward. Because the pitching has struggled a little bit as well. Hunter Brown hasn't looked the same. Hader's been giving up more home runs than I would like. But at this point, you just got to get healthy.
Yeah, and I'm hoping the break helped because it was just a lot of fatigue. I think is what's kind of
Yeah,
setting in. It's just especially like for Hunter Brown, well, and Hader. I mean, Hader's on pace to break his innings pitch that he set last year
yeah,
already, and then Hunter Brown. It's kind of like when you have all these injuries, like you hope that your starting pitching can go deeper into games to try to give yourself a chance and
yeah.
kind of help the bullpen out. So just a lot of that going on. So
Mm-hmm.
in the AL Central, you and I had the Tigers winning it, and we'll pick the Royals.
Mm.
So the Royals are currently sitting in fourth place, 12 games out of first place. So
It's going to be an impressive comeback if they do.
yeah. And then the Tigers are back to best record in the league right now at 60-40. So
Yeah.
they've been playing well. AL East, y'all had the O's, I had the Yankees. So currently, the Blue Jays of all teams are holding a 3-game lead over the
Yeah.
Yankees, and Baltimore sitting down there in last place at 44-54.
Yeah, they're only a few games back though.
13 and a half out of first.
Only a few.
Only team in the division with a negative run differential with minus 99.
That's a crazy fall from grace there.
Oh, 100%.
With that lineup
Because
that
it
they
was really
have.
just looked like they were about to peak at any time.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, which I know we talked about a lot of it, probably the pitching. It's just really hurt them. So
For sure.
it's going to be tough. So and then on the NL side, we had the Cubs sweeping and the Dodgers sweeping. So Cubs are tied with the Brewers actually right now, 59-40.
Wow.
Brewers on a 10-game winning streak.
Wow.
Yeah, they're getting hot right now. And
That's
then
crazy.
the Dodgers holding a 3.5-game lead in the West. So chance there. And then we had the Phillies Will and I had the Phillies, and then you had the Mets. So currently, right now, Phillies hold a half-game lead over the Mets.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna be a good race, I think.
all the way through September. So
Yeah, that's gonna be a close race.
hey, I will say too, the Marlins are in third place right now. So
The Braves, man, what are they doing?
dude, the Braves are, I don't know what they're doing, dude. Like,
That's nuts.
sitting at 43-55 right now. So 12 and a half out of, they only have a +1 run differential too.
Yeah, talking about a young core that they signed a few years ago.
I mean, they're all under arbitration for like another 2 or 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
So like they have zero excuse. Like, did they still have Spencer Strider? Did they end up? I think they still have him, right?
I thought he had Tommy John last year.
Oh, maybe he did. But he's still on the team though, right?
He's pitching. Yeah, he threw
3.6 ERA though, so he's kind of toppled off a little bit from last year.
through 6 innings against the Yankees on the 18th. So
He's still going. Just
yeah,
something's going on in Atlanta right now that's kind of killing him.
yeah,
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting though, because I mean, it looks like they're out of it for right now. I mean, unless they go on an absolute tear. I mean, even in the wild card right now, I mean, they're sitting fourth to last in the wild card. They're 10.5 games out of the last wild card spot right now.
yeah.
So, and one of those spots, or like two of those spots, really, it's most likely going to be the Mets or Phillies, and then the Padres.
Yeah.
Like that's two of the spots, and then the NL Central. Now the Brewers are playing well. I mean, that's going to be tough to
be
do.
the third one, yeah.
I mean, the Giants are still a good team, so they could get up there. I mean, they're in the running. The Reds are actually 52-48. Dude, the NL Central, we talked about them being possibly like the worst division.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's competitive. Like, the only team with a losing record right now is the Pirates.
The Pirates are
The
bad.
bad. Did you see that somebody said something about Skeens? They had a picture of like just like his like a blank stare he had. It was like Paul Skeens seeing that he still can't get a win even when his team scores 6 runs.
You got to feel for the guy.
It's just never ending. Dude.
No, and it's not looking any better.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point do you look to start dealing him?
I mean, as soon as possible.
I mean, because he's at a premium right now.
Oh God!
Like you could pretty much get whatever you want for him right now. So I don't, dude. Like the Pirates is just like where do they go from here? Pirates gonna remind me of like the Wizards of the NBA. It's like they're just always just gonna be bad, and
But they have the nicest stadium in all of baseball.
yeah.
They got that going for them.
Yeah, true. You gotta have something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the MLB. So and then kind of our big thing. I don't know. Yeah, if you want to get Will jump in here real quick,
Yeah, we'll shoot him an invite.
shoot Will an invite. Well, he should have it. So tell him to hop in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good. That was perfect timing.
Yeah.
We were just about to get into football. So
this week, yeah, we're going over the ACC, the Atlantic Coastal Conference.
that consists of West Coast teams.
Yes.
This is the Pacific Coastal teams. So
Crazy.
wait, is PAC is that Pacific Athletic Conference?
I believe that's correct. What's up, Will? Can you hear us?
I can. Can y'all hear
Let
me?
me turn you up real quick. We're going to turn you up a little bit. Everybody, welcome Will in.
What's up, everybody? Sorry I'm a little late this week.
Hello, Will. Welcome to the podcast.
What's up, Brian?
We did your hugs for the week.
Who'd you give
We
me?
said that your hug was the WNBA.
Yeah, absolutely. Pay the players, man. Pay the players. They are all about fighting for what they think they deserve.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were just about to get into the ACC, so
Yeah.
we're about to get rolling. So we'll kind of go through the lineup. We'll go through some of the teams to look out for, kind of what we're looking for in all this, and then we'll kind of see where we go from here. So
Yeah, we're definitely not touching on the bottom
no,
because I think in the ACC there's definitely tiers.
oh, 100%.
There's your top tier, which is consistent of one team.
Yeah,
Your next tier would be kind of those contenders for the college football playoff, and then a bunch of nothing in the middle, a bunch of mid in the middle,
absolutely.
and then you have some bottom feeders.
You definitely have a few bottom feeders.
Yeah,
Probably more than
I think there's quite a. I feel like there's a pretty big grouping of teams that are going to be flirting with bowl eligibility.
yeah.
Like let's just go ahead and knock out the bottom tier. Your Wake Forest and your Stanford, Clemson. Your Wake Forest and Stanford's they're going to be god awful.
Yeah.
They're not sniffing a bowl game,
Dude, so what I actually didn't even realize is that Stanford, do you know who their head coach is this year?
Nah.
It's Frank Reich,
Yep.
who was the head coach of the Panthers and Colts recently.
Really?
Yeah.
So they actually just hired him in here. So I actually thought it's kind of interesting. I mean, I guess going on the North Carolina model, it's just bringing an old coach that we hope can do something. So
He's got a lot of work to do.
Well, they didn't really have
hey, he turned the
time.
Colts
They
around.
didn't really have time to like go make a hire, so this is just like a bridge person, knowing dang well they're going to be brutally awful. And so,
Yeah. I'm sure they had to shell out some cash.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did.
You know,
God,
to get an NFL coach.
I mean, they probably didn't because he's been fired twice, so like he's probably still getting paid by both of his previous employers.
true.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Getting paid quite a bit. Well, that's what. So it's funny too is so they show like the conferences. So the ACC actually overall has 59% of the production coming back, which was like one of three conferences, the Big 12 and SEC, and then Stanford was actually third highest.
Wow.
And the ACC is 64%. But
it's all bad.
when you have 64% coming back to a 3-9 team, I mean, is that really something you're looking forward to? Like,
that's not going to move the needle.
No.
And then Wake Forest down at the bottom too, man. It's just crazy the drop off from a few years ago when they had that high powered offense. They were making some noise, and now it's just a lot of nothing.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
It's kind of crazy to see the drop off. Um, which again, you have to be able to. If you do well in some of those smaller schools, you have to be able to replace the coordinators, head coaches, that kind of thing, because they're going to go always go up to the next level um, to get a better job wherever that is. So that might play a part into it. But Wake Forest is. We're not going to spend a lot of time on Wake Forest football. This.
I think it could in a couple of years it could probably be relevant. Like so Jake Dickert, the coach that they hired, he was the head coach at Washington State after Mike Leach. And so I mean he did have relative success. I mean, considering Washington State. So
Yeah.
I mean there's a chance, I mean, obviously not this year, but maybe in the next couple of years, I mean they could at least be ACC relevant.
Yeah.
Not saying they'll be contenders or whatever, but I mean I think they can at least try to get back in that bowl eligibility over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Um, Robbie Ashford is now at Wake Forest from South Carolina. So um, shout out to Robbie Ashford, who replaced Lenore Sellers last year against LSU and looked absolutely god awful.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing how bad he was.
Hey, they also did get Karate Brinson from Tennessee State. His name's actually Karate,
Oh,
like his real
like the
name.
Taekwondo
Yeah,
karate.
Karate.
Oh wow. Well, we'll see.
So anytime you got a guy called Karate, I mean, you're automatically in contention, dude. So
Jeez. But that's the bottom tier in my opinion. I think everywhere else, like it's going to be a jumble of teams fighting for bowl eligibility.
I think your dark horse from last year is going to take a big tumble.
Oh, dude.
I think Syracuse is going to be pretty rough.
Their schedule's
So
awfully hard.
that's why I don't think they're going to be that as good. So last year, Fran Brown, the head coach at Syracuse, I mean, he pretty much Kyle McCord was a nobody. Well, he wasn't a nobody. He was down the depth chart, falling at Ohio State, and then he turned that around and he led the nation in passing last year. So there's something going on there. But like you said, uh, that schedule is just brutal for them this year. Um, they got the Notre Dame backup quarterback um, from last year, so who knows what he'll be. And then Ricky Collins, who was actually at LSU, he went up to Syracuse as well. I didn't know, but they got Jonte Cook from Texas.
Really?
So I mean, there's gonna be some weapons on the outside. Are they going to be able to replicate what happened last year offensively? I don't think so. Um, and I'm pretty sure they lost a ton of people off of that defensive side of the ball, which again wasn't that great anyway.
Yeah, they also lost 3 of their 5 starting linemen, so
Yeah,
it's not great. So it's going to be pretty tough. But
but if Fran Brown can somehow get them to 8 to 9 wins on that schedule, I'm just saying I don't think they will. But if he can, he might be going elsewhere for a better coaching job.
I mean, so you got Tennessee, that's a loss.
Maybe
UConn, who's played better over the last several years. It's not
we don't know what Tennessee's going to be.
true. Yeah, they got a lot of quarterback questions right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
Clemson,
Clemson's a loss.
Duke.
problem.
Duke's
So,
a very
Point flip
Duke is
yeah,
yeah.
SMU,
loss.
who's going to be tough in Dallas. Pittsburgh, which Pittsburgh's supposed to be better this year.
They're returning a ton, and
Yeah.
Eli Holstein.
Georgia Tech, who's going to be tough.
Very tough.
North Carolina, we have no idea what to expect from North
Biggest
Carolina.
wild
That could be a
card in
circus.
the
We
in
don't
the
even know.
ACC. Biggest wild card for a
That's
million
By the
reasons.
time Syracuse, by the time Syracuse plays North Carolina, they might not even have a head coach.
what I was going to say. North Carolina might not have a head coach
That's-
August 30th.
That's true. So
Then they go to Miami, Notre Dame, go to Notre Dame, and then end with Boston College at
yeah,
home.
if they can somehow find 8 wins on that schedule, Fran Brown has done a phenomenal job. I don't think
I
they
see
do.
3 games where I would confidently say win, and like 4 more that are within a touchdown, and a solid 3 losses.
Because look at that schedule too. Where's their cupcake?
Colgate.
Boston College.
That's that's not though.
Yeah.
Because that's a conference game.
Colgate.
Colgate. Okay.
Yeah.
Colgate's their cupcake. Yeah, that's just a very, very tough schedule.
That's rough.
Whenever you're
Yeah.
trying to keep building off of a pretty successful first year, yeah, this is a tough turnaround.
I would say peak is 6-6. I wouldn't give them more than 6 wins on the next year.
I would
I
agree.
mean,
Like,
again,
yeah, I would agree.
that's why they're fighting for bowl eligibility. They're in that group where they're fighting for bowl eligibility.
Yeah.
But again, if they somehow get 8 wins out of that schedule, you got to be talking about him moving on somewhere else to a bigger school.
Oh, 100%. It's gonna take a lot though.
Oh, absolutely. I don't see it happening, but I wanted to make my dark horse just for the memes. But
just to get the views.
that's right.
And then, I mean, we can talk about Pitt next. I mean, Pitt's kind of one of those. They're kind of a wild card this year as far as where they're going to go. I mean, they're predicted to have a much better year. Um,
Pitt started the season last year, I believe, 7-0,
they did,
and then they went 1-6 or
yeah,
something like that the rest of the way out.
I think they lost their last 5 games and won their bowl game.
That's what it was.
So I think they ended
1-5.
8-5. So.
Yeah.
They lost their last 5 and lost the bowl game.
Oh, so
they went 7-6. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after starting 7-0. After starting 7-0.
So yeah, so Eli Holstein though was hurt. He was playing banged up the entire time, which
But I think he missed the last several games too.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't remember, but
he is coming back next year. So
yeah,
He missed the last 3 games last year and the bowl.
yeah, and then I think their backup. He's the one that transferred to Texas State.
yes,
The one that played the last 4 games.
yeah.
So going 0-4, it's not great. Not great confidence.
Yeah.
But so yeah, but I mean, they got some good. They got some good guys coming back. Got a couple players to kind of help them out. So I mean, I think they have a chance where they can at least be better. They're gonna need some help. I mean,
They're going to be one of those teams that's going to upset somebody that we didn't see coming,
oh yeah, for sure.
right? I'm not saying they're going to go in. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but um, like they could upset a Miami or a Louisville who are fighting for a playoff berth.
They actually do have both of those
So they got
at home.
Yeah, exactly. Um, they do have to play Notre Dame as well.
So they go to Georgia Tech. So they have Miami, go to Georgia Tech, and then host, or go to Notre Dame, host Georgia Tech, and then go to Miami. That's their last 3 games of the season. I mean, the rest of their schedule's really not bad. I mean, they got Louisville in late September. So I mean, depending on where Louisville's kind of at this year, I know that's one of the teams we'll talk about a little bit, but Jeff Braun, like he usually does a good job of getting his team up. So
There's just so many question marks, like with transfers. They lost so many people, and then having to replace that. But we'll get into.
I'll say we'll get into that because I actually saw like some craziness around that. So, and then Florida State. I mean, no idea what to expect from Florida State this year either. I mean,
I don't think they're going to be a 2-win team, but I think they're going to be in that middle of the pack trying to get bowl eligibility.
yeah. I mean, they got some good. They got some good transfers in this year.
Yeah, they did, but I mean, you still had an unbelievable defense on paper last year at Florida State, and they couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, they got Castellanos, quarterback from Boston College.
That doesn't move the needle
Man,
for me at all.
who should really really excited about that. Wow.
Yeah.
They got Gavin Sawchuk, the running back from Oklahoma. They got Squirrel White from Tennessee, Deuce Robinson, USC, Gavin Blackwell from North Carolina. I mean, they got some big guys coming in. So,
But again, at the position that matters the most at quarterback, the Castellanos dude doesn't move the needle for me. If I'm a Florida State fan, because if I'm a Florida State fan and the history of that program, it's playoff or bust every year for me.
yep.
And so I just don't know how much that moves the needle. is there questions about the head coach being on the hot seat?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I would say 100%. And I think we talked about this before, even too. Like, if
Last
you look outside of 2023, like the second half of 2022 and 2023, that's pretty much the only success that Mike Norvell's had, like at Florida State. The first half of 2022, they were bad, and then they turned it on. 2023 obviously was the undefeated season, all the craziness around that, and then last year going 2-10 to follow up, like it's.
But last year's season was a fireable offense in itself. But I think his buyout was so high that it wasn't happening.
For sure.
And I'm not sure what his buyout is this year, but if Norvell does that again, that seat's going to be blazing.
Yeah, I don't see any way. So his buyout right now is $64 million.
Yeah.
He's safe.
They don't have that Aggie money there.
They do not.
He's under contract through 2031 right now.
Through how through when?
2031.
Yeah, which is pretty normal. What you would need to see is what the buyout is at the end of the season.
Correct.
For sure.
Because I'm sure it drops every year. But again, Florida State. If I'm a fan of that football team, I'm not super pumped about the quarterback position, in my opinion.
No.
Especially when you had other names out there like Miller Moss. Like, I'd be more excited about Miller Moss.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't know what the. I mean, and I think a lot of the lack of success last year is like what you said, most important position. So they got Thomas Castellanos, but like DJU coming in last year, like that was supposed to be a huge boost to the offense, and that dude completely fell on his face. Like,
but I feel like he's done it everywhere he's gone too.
For sure,
the writing was kind of on the wall with him,
and it came to fruition for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Florida State's going to be a. We'll see. I mean, there's a chance they can go 4-8. There's a chance they go 6-6. I mean, there's a chance they could go get better and have a better record this year. I mean, like, what's their schedule look like?
8 wins would be a pretty solid season. It's not very.
So they
It's
open with
not very
Alabama.
easy.
So Virginia, Miami, Pitt, Stanford, Wake Forest, Clemson, Virginia Tech, NC State, and then Florida.
So you have 2 wins in there for sure. Well, 3.
I mean, you'll beat East Texas A&M and Kent State.
Okay.
So that's 2.
Stanford.
So, and then you're beating Wake.
You'll beat
Wake and Stanford. There's 4 wins.
That's 4. They go to Virginia Tech, or no, they host Virginia Tech. So possibly NC State, depending on how they turn out. I mean, they could be one way or the other. And then they go to Florida at the end of the year, which, I mean, I think Florida's going to be a lot better this year.
Do you?
I do, but I mean, that's a couple weeks from now, so.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
So. But, like, Miami's going to be tough.
I wanted to put my 2 cents on Florida, but. Everybody's super high on Lagway. I don't know.
We'll save that for SEC week.
I know.
Everybody's high on Alabama too. That's who they open with.
Nobody's high on
It's like
Alabama
opening
except
close.
Alabama fans.
Hey, they're the highest rated game in the highest rated team in the college game. So how can you say you're not high on Alabama right
It
now?
must be an Alabama developer because that's egregious.
So this is something to keep an eye on that opener with Florida State. So again, if you're Florida State, your aspirations are national championship. If you're a fan, in the Alabama game, if you lose by a field goal, that's a win.
Yeah,
and that shouldn't be the standard at Florida State, in my opinion. But where they're at right now, if you just keep that game close against Alabama, you should feel good about your season.
Yeah, because you have to have some sort of boost from last year, going 2-10. So if you open the season at home and you get blown out,
yeah,
then you might as well sell it now because it's not going to get better.
Because I think Alabama's opening as like a 16-point favorite
Oh, God.
Ah,
right now.
that's interesting. We don't even know who the hell Alabama's
Yeah,
quarterback is.
we do not. We do not.
Like,
Doesn't matter apparently.
yeah. Now I'm just
Well, I think people think that. I think people think that Lucas could be the quarterback at Alabama and win 10 games. I mean, like,
that's what they think.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all wanting Ty Simpson. Like they're saying he's some hero. He couldn't beat out Jalen Milroe the last 2 years. They didn't even like Jalen Milroe. He couldn't beat him out. So why are y'all
I
so high on Ty
know.
Simpson? All right, I'm getting SEC. Sorry, this is ACC.
That's going to happen a lot throughout these next few weeks until we actually get to SEC talk. But the line is moved. It's 13 and a
It's gonna
half
be an
now.
ugly game, boys.
Okay,
It's
so
gonna be an
it's
ugly
close to
game.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I think being in Florida State, I think helps a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it,
I mean,
I don't think anybody,
but it's kind of like we
it
said.
depends.
nobody fears going to Tallahassee anymore, man. They just really don't.
True.
After last year, like you can't give them the benefit of the doubt, even at home.
No.
Some of those games that they were losing, it was comical at one point. We even talked about Florida and Florida State might have faced each other off the way Florida started the season last year too, not having a single win.
Yeah.
Like it was looking that way for a while. And so yeah, I agree. But my point is if Florida State loses a close game against Alabama, they'll have something to build on.
Yeah. Because if that one's close and then you play well the next 2 weeks, which I know they're bad teams, then you go and beat Virginia. So now
Uh,
you're 3-1.
Virginia's
Then you
not
get
great,
Miami at
man, but
home.
Virginia's better, and they have to go to Virginia. I don't know.
I don't know. Virginia's a tough spot right now.
Yeah, Virginia's not high on my list.
They're not high on my list
But
either, but
neither
Florida State's very low on my list for being Florida State.
I agree with that. Yeah, I'll agree with Florida State being lower. But I think Florida State wins that game
They absolutely
just on
should,
talent alone.
but they also should have won a lot more than
Yeah,
2 games last year.
yeah.
Absolutely. And then North Carolina has got old Big Bill coming in. He's going to take over 73 years old. Well, I don't know if he's taking
Big
over or his
Joe.
girlfriend's
It's
taking
Big
over.
Joe, man. Big Jordan.
Yeah, somebody's taking over, but they got Gio Lopez, the South Alabama quarterback. He's going to start this year. Um, I didn't realize. So his coaching staff. So it's Bill Belichick, defensive coordinator Steve Belichick, defensive back coach is Brian Belichick. Uh, they got general manager Michael Lombardi, quarterbacks coach Matt Lombardi. They got Freddie Kitchens, who's the head coach at the Browns before. They got Michael Prefer, who was special teams coordinator out of the NFL. So I mean, they got all kinds of pro guys coming in. Whether or not that's actually going to be successful, we will find out in a hurry. But
I just none of the names on that offensive roster scream out to me.
one of the things they said too is like, despite who you bring in at quarterback, like they have pretty much nobody to throw to.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be an absolute crapshoot. You would hope Belichick brings in a defense and has a scheme set up for them to thrive in, but how long has he been in the NFL with complex schemes and things like that an 18 to 21-year-old can comprehend right away?
exactly.
That's going to be a big part of it too, I think. How well can Bill Belichick dumb it down for these young athletes to figure out a scheme?
Yeah, because I mean, like I always thought Freddie Kitchens was a great offensive coordinator in the NFL. He wasn't a great head coach, but I thought he was a good offensive coordinator. So I think as far as scheme, I think it's good. But yeah, but if you start bringing in this professional style offense to these college kids, I mean, it's going to get real interesting.
Because don't get me wrong, again, as I do all the time, I'm bringing it back to LSU. LSU the past few years before um, uh, the defensive coordinator from Mizzou came in.
Baker.
Yeah, Blake Baker. Just blanking right now. They had a bunch of Brian Kelly brought in 2 defensive coordinators with a bunch of schemes from the NFL, and the young kids just couldn't comprehend it. They were lost.
Yeah.
They were blown coverages left and right. You just couldn't comprehend the schemes. And so sometimes dumbing it down and going back to fundamentals is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens with Belichick there.
Fairly
be
soft schedule, boys. Fairly soft schedule.
I was actually looking at that too. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, open up with TCU.
I was going to say, we might find out a lot about them week 1.
Yeah, depending on what TCU turns out to be this year, for sure. I mean, really, like the only true contending team that they play this year that's like considered like in that upper tier is Clemson. Like other than that, it's
do they have to go to Pitt?
No.
They don't play Pitt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't play Pitt this year.
Oh.
The next.
So yeah, so they got Clemson at home, or yeah, they got Clemson at home. They go to Cal, Virginia, Syracuse, Stanford, Wake Forest, Duke.
NC State at NC State's probably is that the next hardest game on that schedule? Because it's at NC State.
And that one's at home. That one's oh no, it is at NC State.
And that's just a rivalry.
Yeah, I mean outside of Clemson, yeah, I mean that's their toughest game, I think.
That's pretty soft. It's pretty soft.
Yeah, so I mean if they can get their stuff together, I mean they got a chance to go. I think reasonably you could say they could potentially go 9-3 this year.
That would be a massive overachievement.
We haven't touched on one of the teams I'm pretty high on yet, but the Duke game is going to be interesting too, with it being a rivalry. They got the 2 rivalries back to back at the end of the year.
That is true.
Duke and then NC State.
Well, honestly, Wake Forest is another North Carolina team, so I mean, they get to stay in state for the last 3 games.
Yeah,
and 2 of them are road games technically. The last 4 games are at home.
Yeah,
they're like in North Carolina.
That will be very interesting. But North Carolina, I feel like, does this every year too. We don't know what the mindset is under Belichick, but I feel like North Carolina always starts out super hot and then just absolutely pees down their leg by the end of the season.
No.
Oh yeah.
I can see this.
At least
I can see this like Dion's first year when Colorado races out, beats TCU. Was it TCU they beat? And then everybody's like, "Oh God, here we go." Dion's got them rolling. They're a top 25 team, and when they go 4-8 or something like that, like just flamed out. I can see that happening 100%.
And that was coming off of TCU's national championship run.
Correct.
That was the year after, yeah.
I mean, there's a real chance that North Carolina starts the season 4-0. Because I mean, it's TCU, which, like you said, if they pace them out, then Charlotte, Richmond, UCF. I mean, we'll get them next week, but I think they're down this year.
Yeah.
And then you got Clemson at home, so I mean, you're looking at 4-0 hosting Clemson. So I mean, on paper, that could be like a high profile top 25 game in week 5.
But just like Castellanos, I can't get up for a South Alabama transfer quarterback. I'm sorry. I can't get behind that until I see it happen.
And he has nobody to throw to.
Exactly.
They have no receivers.
I can't get behind that at all. I don't care how soft your schedule is. I can't get behind that.
And they're losing 13 of their 16 highest level defenders.
Yeah. I don't know. Their schedule plays out well. If they had this schedule a few years ago with Drake May, I'd say yeah. But I can't get behind it. Me personally.
No, I mean
what
I don't
Gio
disagree.
Gio Lopez is the kid's name from
Yeah.
South Alabama. Yeah, I don't. He may prove me completely wrong and be phenomenal, but
And they were like all
he
in
played
on
in the
him
Sun
too.
Belt.
Like they were all in on him during that transfer process.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was like their big signing for sure.
Oh, I think he got paid pretty well. He was one of the top portal guys, I think.
Yeah, I think
But
so. I don't know.
it'll be
It'll be
interesting.
interesting.
But Duke is this in the same boat. Um, Duke's schedule is very favorable as well. Um, with Manny Diaz running the show, I feel like defensively they're going to be solid.
Yeah.
Um, and their schedule is, I feel like, even more cake.
Uh, it's a lot more top
Uh,
heavy. It's a lot more top heavy.
I don't think it's that.
I mean, it's the same thing. They play Clemson.
Yeah. Okay.
But like,
If we're
I
talking
think
ACC schedule, yes. But like as far as overall schedule goes, not quite as much, not as easy as I would have said North Carolina's.
I think NC State's going to be tough. I think Georgia Tech's going to be tough. Clemson's going to be tough. North Carolina again, like we just talked about. So
Yeah.
you got four potential games right there where it's going to be.
It's just can they,
They're going to be dogfighting
what
for
is
it.
morale going to be like? Because like hosting Illinois, Illinois is trying to make some noise in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Tulane, we talked about Tulane last
That's
week, and they have to go to Tulane. And then you got NC State. I mean, I'm saying you get late in your season if you're sitting there like 3-3, 4-3. What's the mindset like? Can you finish that season strong against the favorable UConn, Virginia, North Carolina, Wake Forest? Finish, but that 5-6 game stretch in the middle, if it doesn't go your way, like do they pack it in or do they can they rebound and try to finish strong?
And one thing I just saw too, they actually got Tulane's quarterback.
and that's what I was gonna say.
So
Who again, kind of contradicting myself about a small school quarterback transferring into one of the bigger programs. He also finished the season 21st in QBR in the country, right behind Klubnik and Haynes King. Um, I feel like he's a lot more athletic. And again, the focus on this Blue Devil team is not going to be the offensive side of the ball.
At all.
Their defense is what's going to play. Their defense is going to keep them in games. Um,
that's really, and that even shows like the stats, like when Elko was there, it was the same thing.
yeah,
It was bad offense, good defense. And
for
like
sure.
one thing I didn't realize, they went 6-1 in one score games last year.
Yeah.
So that's a big time. That's very hard to
Tough
sustain.
to
So
replicate.
yeah, yeah. You have to find a way to score points this year and figure out how to win. But like you said, I do agree. I think the defense is going to be solid. It's just, are they going to be able to score points again this year and kind of
I,
separate themselves?
I think they're going to be better offensively than last year. And I feel like defensively, we know what we got with them.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, I'm not saying they're a playoff contending team. I think they're just in the topper echelon of that tier that's fighting for bowl eligibility. I can see them winning 8 games
Yeah.
and beating a team that they shouldn't, like a Georgia Tech, which I think, depending on, we'll get to them eventually, depending on Haynes King's like fitness levels, if he gets hurt,
His stability.
because he takes a beating every time he goes out there, which is why it's hard for me to keep Georgia Tech up in the top. Just because, man,
Well, they relied on him so much last year.
way too much, and so yeah, I don't know. I think Duke can make a little bit of noise, and their schedule's relatively favorable.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, they missed out on SMU, Louisville, and Miami.
Yeah, that's huge in itself.
Yeah, and Pitt.
Yeah.
Which I think Pitt's going to make a little bit of noise too.
Yeah, I think they can definitely bounce back. So, especially having their starting quarterback coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get into Georgia Tech. They're started off. They started off the season pretty well. Kind of fell off. It was like a roller coaster
Yeah.
year. ended up going 7-6. I mean,
I mean, they're a few inches away from making that what 8-5. They should have beat Georgia last year.
you know, did they beat Miami?
Yes,
Yeah,
Or was that one of the first ones that
I
they?
think they beat
they did
Miami.
beat
Okay,
Miami.
that was one where Miami finally it caught up to them. The crazy finishes at the
Yeah,
end, like it finally got on to them. So
but Haynes King, I mean, arguably the third best quarterback in the ACC. I
yeah,
think he's in the top three. His health concerns is what gets me.
yeah,
Um,
Uh,
personally.
Yeah, I'm 100% on this. I don't know if we're supposed to do this now or saving it, but yeah, Georgia Tech's my dark horse.
Yeah, I mean that's fair for
And
sure.
you hit the nail on the head when you said it. And I'm doing this predicating this on Haynes King's health. If he
Agreed.
can stay healthy, Brett Key is an amazing coach. I think those guys love to play for him. And this is why they're my dark horse because I can absolutely see this season going 9 wins, maybe even 10, and they could bomb out and go 5-7. Like if he gets hurt or some other
yeah.
things go wrong, uh,
It goes
again,
down in a hurry.
a decently favorable schedule. I mean, they're they're they have Clemson early, and then don't they have Duke and they have NC State, but they get Boston College, they get Wake Forest, Virginia Tech at home, Syracuse at home, Pitt at home. So it's a lot of like coin flip games, but they just have that mentality that they can just beat you to death and wear you down at the defense. But again, Haynes has got to stay healthy. But if he does, man, I think they're one of the biggest swingers of very high end potential that could bomb out very low.
Yeah,
For
man.
sure.
I think just looking at their schedule, I mean, I could see the floor being if like things don't hit the fan. I could see 7-5 being like the floor,
Yeah.
and then like a 9-3, potentially 10-2, being kind of like their ceiling.
I want to say we touched on it a little bit last year too. It was pretty impressive what they were doing in the high school recruiting game too. They had a 5-star lineman commit to them, and down in the trenches, they are legit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And they have
And
they brought back 65%
it's
of the team, I think. It's the second highest in the league.
yeah.
So a whole lot of returners.
Um, and it's super cliche, but games are won and lost in the trenches.
Mhm.
I mean, it's super cliche to say it, but they have an advantage there
and
in almost every game, bar Clemson.
they have the eighth highest odds right now to win the conference.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's very very low.
But it's also like saying like Florida State's going to be better.
Yeah,
I mean, they got Duke and North Carolina State above them.
yeah,
SMU, I mean, which we'll touch on them here in a little bit, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's
I
definitely
know they're on that lower end, but that's why it's called a dark horse, boys. I mean, think they have the ability to make noise. Not saying they're going to. Don't think they'll make some national moves, but as far as ACC is concerned, if the ball bounces the right way, I can see them sneaking their way up there.
No, I'm 100% on board with that. My 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 reservations are based solely on
Haynes
Haynes
King,
King's
yeah,
health.
agreed. And that's a big risk because, I mean, dating back to his days at A&M, the guy is never healthy, never healthy.
But the style of play, he looks for contact.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
bowling
Well,
ball,
in the game against Georgia, man, he
but
was
he can
just
also
running
sling it.
down and back to your trenches point, they were bullying Georgia's defensive line, but I mean, he was getting 6 to 8
Yeah,
yards, but every time was just getting smashed and smashed and smashed.
yep, I agree. And I honestly do like the dark horse pick a lot.
yeah, I think it'd be
I really
great
do. They were definitely up there for me as well, but I just had a lot of reservations about his health.
Agreed?
for sure. Then we can jump into our next tier. So I think Louisville, Louisville's kind of one of those. where they kind of talk about like one of the best things that Jeff Brom has done in his time there is he's dealt with the massive amount of transfers that they've gone through. So first year that they lost 25 transfers, brought 25 in. Last year lost 30 transfers, brought 32 in, got them up to a 9-4. They're competitive in the ACC. So then you think like, oh, it's going to get better. You know, we've been consistent. Well, then this year they lost 28 transfers, and then they combated that by bringing in 30. So just a lot of turnover that Jeff Brom's having to go through every single year. But I mean, I think he's a great coach. I mean, he always seems to find a way to win those games and be in games that they might not necessarily should be in. So I mean, I think they're gonna be solid this year.
Agreed. I agree. The only problem is that their schedule's pretty tough. If you go and break down Louisville's schedule, it's pretty brutal. Um, they kind of hit all the tougher teams. They got Clemson, they got SMU, they got Miami as well. They play Pitt.
Pitt.
They got to end the season again. It gets Kentucky, but it's a rivalry game, an SEC rivalry game. That schedule's not doing them any favors at
They're
all.
fine against Kentucky.
I mean, I would think so too. But Kentucky also held Georgia to 13 points
Yeah, but
or 12
dude,
points.
they got Zach Calzada. No, they're fine against Kentucky.
Yeah, I do like I do like the Miller Moss acquisition.
Agreed.
I really do. I think that's a great move. Um, I think his QBR and what's the kid from the dude who went to the Saints, Shaw.
Oh,
Shook.
Shuck.
Shaw. Yeah, I think they're pretty similar in QBR last year. So Shuck had 75 QBR, Miller Moss had 74.4. So relatively close. So you would think production is going to be similar there. Their running backs are monsters.
Yeah,
Um,
that's their biggest returning factor right there.
their running game
Getting
for
that
sure.
1,800 yards, 7.6 a carry. I mean, yeah, that's a huge. They're bringing in 7 new linemen. That's going to help bolster their offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, they got new receivers coming in. Miller Moss, like you said, is a huge one. And again, like they said, their biggest question mark was their defense, and they pretty much transitioned almost the entire defense out this year. So it's kind of like we talked about. It's like sometimes it's good to have your production back. Sometimes it's not good because your production's really bad. So you need to get that transition out. So
But there's also the caveat of living and dying by the portal, right?
oh, for sure.
Look what happened to Ole Miss last year.
Every
On paper, no, last year Ole Miss spent
Yeah.
like $20 million
Yes.
on their roster, loaded with NFL draft picks, and didn't make the playoff.
yeah.
Lost to Kentucky, as we were talking about. So that's a big question. 1 year it might hit perfect, might be awesome. The next year it might not. It's just sometimes rolling the dice, making sure those kids gel together.
It's like Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State
fell to pieces last year.
Exactly. I mean, Ella. God, we're going back to SEC. LSU's pretty much playing the Ole Miss last year game this year.
Yeah.
With the portal acquisitions that they got and the amount of money that they put in, but we'll get to that.
Just gotta hope it all gels, like you said.
That's right.
We'll see, but I think Louisville has potential to be really good this year. But
In those 3 games that we talked about, like, they could win 2 of those 3 for sure.
for sure,
They could knock off Clemson
yeah.
in a one-off game. I mean, will they? I don't think so, but they could.
I want to say it was a close game last year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what the score was in that one, but
It
I'm pretty sure.
was
Did Louisville beat
33-21.
them?
Yeah. Louisville beat Clemson
yeah.
33-21 last year.
Louisville beat them. Yeah, so that was their one conference loss.
Whose?
Clemson.
I think Clemson had 2.
No, they said the one.
Clemson. I'm pretty sure Clemson had 2 because they had to sneak into the ACC championship game. They lost the season opener to Georgia.
No, Brian's right. That was only
Yeah,
conference
no, that was
loss
their
because
only
they lost to
conference.
Georgia and South Carolina.
Yeah, so they went 9-3, but they only had one conference loss.
South Carolina was the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Syracuse beating Miami put them in. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, put them into the championship game, which then they
Against
beat
SMU. Yeah,
So
that's right.
it didn't seem like a one-loss conference just because of the way their season went. Like getting destroyed by Georgia to start the season, and then like from there, like they kind of just stayed kind of quiet under the radar.
Yeah.
And then like made their way through. Then they lost to Louisville, so it's like okay, they're done.
What were some of their other games? Close to Virginia, Virginia Tech by 10, Pitt by 4.
They won by 4, yeah. And that's what it was. It was like they're winning, but they're all kind of close games. So it was like,
Boy, at that point, Pitt
how
was
good
still
is this
good,
team building?
Yeah.
or thought to
Well,
be
that was
good.
one of their that was one of their yeah.
Well, no, that was in November.
Oh, was it?
I think that was the first of their, and I think it was the second of their 5-game losing streak. So
Ah,
yeah, that's where all the breaks, everything just fell to pieces. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, that is, I mean, their schedule. I mean, they open with LSU. That's we said that last week. It's going to be a huge telling point right off the bat. Um, Probably more so for Clemson than anything else. Um, then they got Georgia Tech. They go to Georgia Tech.
That's a sneaky one. But is that right? That's not right after LSU.
No, so they got LSU. Then they play Troy. Then they go to Georgia Tech. Then they got North Carolina in October. SMU a couple weeks later. Then they got Duke, Florida State, Clemson. Like the back half of their schedule is tough.
Who's?
Oh,
That's Clemson.
oh, I was looking at it. We're talking about Clemson. Shit, who are we talking about?
Louisville.
Oh, we are talking about Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad. I was looking at Clemson because we started getting on them. So
You said LSU. I was like, wait a
Yeah,
second.
I thought
yeah,
we just switched over to Clemson. I was like, all right, we're going to Clemson.
yeah, we kind of it was that quick transition. We're just
Yeah.
like, but no, I mean, yeah, again, Louisville can be pretty good. So, and then SMU, I know SMU, like they're kind of another team
Yeah.
that kind of a lot of question marks. I mean, obviously the biggest question is, are they going to be as good as last year? Are they going to be able to have the same success that they had from last year to where they get into the playoff and almost win the conference? So, I mean, they got their quarterback coming back, which is a big one. People are very big on Rhett Lashley, the coach,
Yeah.
about him being a great coach. Kevin Jennings, the quarterback, like I said, I mean, he's coming back. Outside that Penn State game, I mean, I thought he had a really solid year.
But looked awful against
What's
Penn
the
State.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think a lot of that is like the atmosphere. I think got to him more
Yeah,
than anything.
he
It
was
was
seeing
like
ghosts, man.
never seen anything like that. Yeah.
The caveat I have with SMU is their schedule this year is much more difficult than last year's. Last year's schedule was very manageable. They didn't have to hit any of the big dogs.
Yeah, they got a good slate last year.
This year they're playing the big three that we've talked about so far. So they play at Clemson, they play Miami, and they play Louisville. And I think are they all on the road?
2 of them are at home actually.
Okay,
Miami and Louisville are both at home.
which bodes well. But last year their schedule was relatively easy, and they play Baylor this year too, which is again a rivalry game in a sense,
TCU.
and TCU. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare with that schedule compared to last year. Because even last year, if I remember right, they were in a lot of close games. Like the BY or they lost to BYU early. Um, they put up 66 against TCU, but they also gave up 42.
Yeah.
Uh, the Louisville game was close. The Duke game they won by a point. The Pitt game wasn't that close. The Boston College game, if I remember right, that was a close game. And they ended up winning by 10. And so I don't know. their schedule just they didn't play any of the big dogs last year either
Right.
until they played Clemson in the final.
Yeah. So the only tough one was Louisville last year,
Yeah,
and they beat Louisville by a touchdown,
yeah,
and then yeah, so they started Pittsburgh's losing streak.
yeah.
Because I remember that was like the big one. It was like SMU and Pittsburgh. It was supposed to be a big time matchup, and then SMU ended up blowing them out, and then you saw where Pitt went from there. So it was like, oh, okay, well, maybe they just weren't as good as we thought.
SMU is definitely not going undefeated in conference this year,
No,
No,
like like they did last year.
no.
it's kind of crazy too. Like the way it alternates too. It's like Clemson tough one, then they go to Wake Forest, so it's like winnable game. Then you got Miami, then you go to Boston College, so it's like another like should win that one. Then you got Louisville and you got Cal, so it's kind of at least it benefits them a little bit that they're not all stacked right next to each other.
Yeah,
Because then it would just be like an absolute gauntlet.
yeah.
It's like if you lose one of those, you can kind of bounce back the next week, kind of try to get back
But
on track.
those
So
are
For
also
sure.
slip up games. Like if you play a tough
But
game
they had
against Clemson, and then you got Miami in 2 weeks. Oh, but you got a Wake Forest mixed in there. At Wake Forest, like you're wore down, you're looking ahead. That's a big time slip up. Same thing with Boston College.
for sure.
yeah. Don't sleep on Boston College. The Boston College is more of a slip up game than
Yeah,
Wake Forest is, in my
for
opinion.
sure, for
Because
sure.
again, with Boston College, you know what you're going to get.
Six and
Yeah.
six, top end.
Yes, well, yes, but it's it's going to be a low scoring, punch you in the mouth kind of game.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you mean, man? They have
just like
Bill
Duke.
O'Brien, the offensive guru, is the head coach. So
Oh yeah,
And a brand new quarterback, so
yeah.
I
Because
get your point.
Castellanos
No,
was
I
a
get your point.
and then there's Miami.
yeah.
Miami obviously losing their number one pick, Cam Ward, last year. It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, the biggest question mark is Carson Beck at quarterback. I mean, what's he gonna look like this year? I mean, because I feel like with Georgia, it's like you kind of rely on your defense and you just try to hold on to the ball and score enough points to win. Now you're going to Miami, whose defense was absolutely horrendous in the second half of the season.
Yeah,
So it's going to take a lot more scoring points and kind of taking over games. So is he going to be able to handle that load and be able to do what he needs to do to be able to win those games?
I've never been super high on Carson Beck, but I feel like going to Miami, he's not going to have as much pressure as being the Georgia quarterback, in my opinion.
True.
He did get paid a lot of money. They're going to have to rely on him a lot more. But there also is a reason that NFL scouts were super high on him. I didn't see it personally, but he was projected the number one overall pick in the NFL draft at the beginning of last season.
And
That was a thing.
then chooses not to go.
So there's something. Well, he chose not to go because he was not very
Well,
good.
that's what I mean. Like, that's what it turned into.
Man,
And that's what I always thought too. But and he's also coming off of Tommy John. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So how well can he actually sling the ball around? I don't. It's definitely a different mechanic than a pitcher in baseball, but there's definitely questions about his arm and his health.
and his mental
Their
state
schedule
of where he's at.
that too, um, but that schedule is brutal as well.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
The only team they avoided was Clemson.
Yeah, but let's open up the season against Notre Dame.
Yep.
You know,
Sunday night. Yep.
Florida mixed in as well.
Then they
For
got to Florida
non-conference.
State, which is a big rivalry.
Yeah,
Got Louisville, got SMU, NC State, at Virginia Tech, which I mean, you never know, and then at Pitt.
yeah.
So I mean, that's a tough slate. It's gonna be hard to repeat what they did last year, which obviously last year turned out to be kind of a bust for them, just with the way that the season ended and everything. But
I'm not high on Miami at all.
I think Miami has a lot of talent, just in recruiting classes and transfer classes. The talent is there.
Cristobal is great at that, but like, can it all mesh together? Because they lost so much,
Yeah,
and you're bringing in an entirely new
I
offense
mean it's
essentially.
for sure.
Yeah, new quarterback, new running
Almost
backs, new receivers.
almost all new wideouts.
The only thing that they got coming back is their offensive line. They got 4 of their 5 coming back,
I mean that's
which is big.
huge.
So they got C.J. Daniels from LSU and Keelan Marion from BYU.
Because that's another thing. Last year as well. So again, I don't know how good those running backs are going to be at Miami, but Carson Beck also at Georgia last year had no running game whatsoever. Georgia was ranked 102nd overall in the nation in rushing yards per game. So now you have Carson Beck, who was getting happy feet in the pocket because the defensive linemen were just bull rushing,
Yeah,
going after the quarterback because they knew they couldn't run the ball.
playing straight pass. Yeah,
And granted, that's what happened at LSU as well. But if that offensive line can hold up at Miami and they have a running game, who knows how that can change Carson Beck's mindset in the
Yeah, and
pocket.
he also didn't have Brock Bowers and Lad McConkey to throw to, which he had his first year at Georgia when
True.
everybody was so high on him. I don't think those guys are in Miami's offense either. So
no,
Very true. But let's see where Georgia ranked in rushing that year. Because if you're a one dimensional offense, a defense can pick you apart, right? You know what's coming. You know you don't have to sit here and play the run. I don't think the defenses in the ACC are huge run stoppers, other than maybe Duke and Boston College.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Clemson. Don't forget about Clemson. But I think if it's a more balanced offense, I think Carson Beck might have a little bit more success. Because again, there was a reason why he was one on everybody's
in
board.
2022, Georgia was 5th in the nation in rush.
Yeah, they went from 5 to 102. So if you're that one dimensional, yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge fall off.
Which is why Georgia only scored 13 points at Kentucky.
Yeah. When you saw the struggles too when they would play those better teams, like
I mean, Georgia Tech.
I was gonna say, like even when they played Texas the two
Yeah.
times, they were both very low scoring because I mean Texas was doing the same thing. It's like we're playing the pass, and so I
Absolutely.
mean, they're just bringing dudes, and I mean with how athletic they were, it made it tough for them. So
And again, I'm going into the we just went into the SEC. Georgia's also this year. They're starting almost nothing but true freshmen and sophomores. They're one of the youngest teams in the SEC.
Yeah.
Which is why I have a lot of questions about Georgia. But we're not doing SEC right now. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think Carson Beck is going to have a better year this year than last year. Do I think he's going to be great? Is he going to be getting an invite to New York for the Heisman ceremony? Absolutely not. But I think there's a better player in there than what we saw last year. Is all I'm saying. He's not gonna do what Cam Ward did at Miami last year.
No.
But honestly, that might be more sustainable because what Cam Ward was doing at Miami was not sustainable at all. Winning these games in overtime where you have these circus catches where they bounce around and the guy's out of bounds and he's not. I don't know. But to Miami's point, that schedule's tough. That's a tough schedule. I'm not super high on Miami, but I am high on their roster. I think they have a good roster. I think they're very talented.
I'm just looking at their schedule from last year too.
They're not winning the ACC. Let's go ahead and put that on record.
And I think their schedule's even tougher than last year too.
Agreed.
and what they end up going 9-4,
something like that.
So even with the number one overall pick, I mean, they still couldn't do it. And that was with like
10,
the heroic games. I
10
mean,
and 3.
they were a couple games away from going 6-6.
Yeah.
10-3 is what they ended up.
10-3, but that counts the bowl game loss, which Ward only played the first half to break the record and then didn't play the second half.
That's
So
right.
they probably would have went 11-2 if he actually plays the whole game. But yeah, to your point, there's a couple games in here, like you just said about the California game with the touchdown, no touchdown. I mean, yeah, there's some games that they should have definitely lost and they got away with. So
Or like the Virginia Tech game the week before,
Yeah.
where they were down the entire game, scored late to win that one.
And those two teams are not world beaters.
No,
no.
a lot of questions. I think there's definitely the potential they have a big fall off this year and struggle mightily.
I still think they're in the top 3 teams in the ACC though.
Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Who you?
I don't think so.
Uh,
I think they're behind Louisville and I think they're behind SMU and possibly Georgia Tech.
mm, mm,
I don't know, man. I
all
do
right.
not like. I understand everything you say about Carson Beck because you're right. He was a Heisman hopeful. He's got things in him to be a good quarterback. But man, I see this. This is reminding me of Spencer Rattler. I remember when Spencer Rattler was at Oklahoma, going to be a Heisman hopeful,
Oh yeah.
projected number one overall pick. All of a sudden, just falls flat, goes to South Carolina, and just kind of exists. Man, that might
But now
that
he's a
might.
starter in the NFL.
He's going to be a backup. Oh my God, for the New Orleans Saints. And that he's the starter because they don't have a soul else. But now they have Shuck. But like before that, they literally didn't have anybody
Chuck still
else.
hasn't signed, by the way.
No, he did. He signed a
God.
fully guaranteed deal this week.
Oh, did
Fully
he?
guaranteed $10 million deal. Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
well,
I can see this going like a Spencer Rattler 2.0, where like he's this number one overall pick Heisman guy that just becomes a backup in the NFL that hangs around for like 3 years because people still keep saying, "Oh, he's got it in him somewhere." I, that's where I'm at on Carson
yeah,
Beck. I just the way it fell
man.
out at Georgia, man. There's something else going on there. Like Georgia was so happy just to let him walk, and with the guy that's that talented, you don't shoo him out of the door if there's not something else there.
Yeah, you're right. But I also think I, I'm curious to see if it also had to do with a little tampering action going on too, where he was looking for more money. Miami was willing to pay him more money, and so he left. And you have the whole girlfriend
Who he
situation,
cheated on
which I think
anyway,
played a
so who
big part of
cares?
it. For sure, it didn't end up well for him.
No,
Um, but I think that played a little bit into it too. I don't know. I don't know how much of that was in Georgia's decision as much as it was his
I
decision to
think
leave.
Georgia was
Personally,
very excited to move on to Gunner Stockton for whatever reason. I don't think.
I don't know. Again, I don't agree with that decision, and we'll
Yeah,
get to that in
yeah.
the SEC
But
breakdown.
I'm just saying, like, there seems to be something there to bringing it back to Carson Beck. Like, yeah, you're right. There were so many other things, but again, if a guy is that talented, you work a little harder to try to keep him. And I don't think Georgia and Kirby Smart put in any effort to try to keep him there.
Yeah, we'll
Hey,
see.
I
We'll see
I
how
might
it plays out for
we might
sure.
look back on this take at the end of the season, and I was way wrong. But that's just where I'm at right now on the whole situation.
We can definitely check the tapes from last year in the SEC breakdown too, because I was a huge Carson Beck hater too, and I still am. I don't think he's that good, but I think in a new situation, a different offense, having a little bit of a running game, I think he's going to be better than he was last year. Because again, I was not high
Yeah.
at all on him, and I'm still not super high. I don't think he's going to be a top 5 draft pick or anything like that. But I think he'll do enough at Miami with weapons around him, with a good offensive line. I think an improved defense from last year, because it can't get much worse. Um, I think Miami's going to be again. I think they're one of the top 3 teams in the AC personally.
Find out.
Yeah, their schedule does not do them any favors. That's for sure.
No, definitely not.
Their schedule is pretty tough.
And then our last team, our tier 1, top of the list, is obviously Clemson. One of the biggest things about Clemson that's widely known is that Dabo Swinney absolutely refuses to go into the portal. He finally broke free this year and signed 3 transfers into the team.
Went out.
So really going out of his way to do that. Obviously, the biggest thing coming back is Cade Klubnik coming back for his senior year. They got 3 of their top 4 receivers that are coming back.
80% of the
You
team
got a
came
kid
back.
that
80%.
80% of production.
Yep.
Out of a team that went to the college football playoff last year. So, I mean, they think this could be probably one of Clemson's best offensive lines that they've ever had. So, I mean, there's potential that like Clemson's going to be really, really, really good this year.
Yeah. A lot of people have the best team in the nation for sure. I'm not going to go out on a limb as I did with Carson Beck, but I still don't trust Klubnik that much. To be honest,
Why is that?
I mean I've seen him play for the last 5 years at Clemson, and I don't know, man. I feel like there's so many highs and lows. I feel like his ceiling is really high, but his floor is lower than I'd like it to be. To be honest, um, he has weapons to throw to this year as well, which they didn't have previously. I think 2 years ago they had, I don't even know who he was throwing to. Like he didn't have the when Deshaun Watson was there. They were throwing to all pro receivers, which I think they have now, which I think is going to make his job a little easier. But I don't know. Something about Klubnik. I know a ton of people are high on him. I think he's in the top 5 in Heisman odds.
I think he's number 2 right now.
I think it's Arch and Nuss are 1 and 2.
Oh, Nuss, yeah. So he's probably 3.
Yeah.
They got 9 of their.
But Mateer's, like a lot of people are super high on Mateer.
That's solely based off projection.
And same thing on Lenore Sellers for some reason.
People are salivating
I do
over
think
Lenore
he's good.
Sellers and DJ Lag. Damn it! Here we go. Yeah.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that for sure. The Lenore. So just because it happened this week, Lenore Sellers, they had SEC Media Days this past week. Lenore Sellers was the first team all SEC quarterback. That's who got picked.
Wow.
He put up 3 points against Ole Miss. 3. But then he had those plays against Clemson where he ran the ball, and that's what they remember.
Yep.
But they don't remember him not being able to complete a forward pass against Ole Miss. But got it.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I'll get into that. And God, the Lagway comment, I totally agree. But okay, we'll get to the SEC.
Yeah.
But
some point.
Klubnik will be in New York. Klubnik will be in New York.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You think?
Because of numbers and Clemson's got a chance to. We'll know after week 1, but like Clemson's got a chance to go 11-1, maybe 12-0, and if
sure.
they do that, you're
agree.
almost guaranteed to go to New York based off of that. If you put up decent numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, if he throws for over 3,000 yards and they go 12-0.
I mean, at worst, Clemson does no different than last year. Say they lose to LSU and they lose to South Carolina, they're not losing more than 1 game in the ACC.
Yeah, I mean, if he just repeats what he did last year, threw for 3,700 yards and 36 touchdowns.
That's exactly my point. Like,
and then you go 11-1. I mean, you're in New York.
yes, I mean,
but why was he not in New York last year?
Because you had Alshon, Travis Hunter, the best two-way player since Dion or Charles Woodson. Genty doing something we haven't seen since uh Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State, and then the same thing with Oregon. You have the quarterback of the number one team in the country, and there was
Yep.
a fourth one. Oh, Cam Ward. So
But if you just go by his numbers, again, why would Nuss not be in the conversation last year either? You know what I mean? Like Nuss threw for over 4,000 yards.
but LSU went 8-4.
Well, I think kind of Will's
Agreed.
Well,
But LSU went 8-4, and Jaden Daniels won the Heisman
But
Trophy
he also had the
but I
best
think kind
numbers
of
in the
Will's
country.
point, like we were saying,
for sure.
yeah, but like Cam Ward threw for 5,000 yards last year. I mean, Bo Nix again, number one team in the nation. I
Dylan
mean, he threw
Gabriel.
for his yards also.
So yeah,
What I say, Bo Nix?
yeah. But Dylan Gabriel, like, so is the number one is the quarterback on the number one team in the nation just always going to go to the New York? If that's the case,
As long
then
as they put up, as
they
long as they
should.
put up above average numbers, then yes, that's just how they
Yeah,
work.
it's crazy
But didn't he also,
for sure.
but he also finished fourth. He was invited, but he wasn't a
He
serious
threw for
candidate.
1,300 yards and 30 touchdowns.
Yeah, if Klubnik does that for sure, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not a big
I
Klubnik
don't think
guy.
he'll win it. I'm just saying he's going.
No, for sure. I
That's,
think just on name alone too.
yeah, I think far and away. I mean, they're obviously the conference favorites.
Dude, they're
By
gonna
a
they're
wide
gonna
margin.
smoke the conference.
Yeah.
Defensively, they're unbelievable.
I
I think that's not being talked about enough. Is the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they got 13 of their 18 stars coming back. 9 of them are only sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
So they're still
they're
young, too.
really
Yeah, I
good,
think.
man. This is Dabo's best team since
Yeah,
since they won the title with a fourth year starting quarterback. I mean, if this has got to be a year that they put it
I mean,
together.
I honestly don't see a loss on their schedule.
I mean, just thinking about toughest conference games, I mean, going to Georgia Tech, going to Louisville, I mean, I think that's your toughest two
For
conference games.
Agreed.
Oh yeah,
They have
easily.
SMU
I
at
mean,
home.
seriously, the toughest game I see on the schedule is probably at South Carolina if South Carolina lives up to all this perceived potential.
See, I disagree. I honestly think the Georgia Tech away game is tougher. The Louisville game away is tougher. We're not doing SEC breakdowns. I'm not high on South Carolina at all. They lost everybody on defense. Everybody.
Agreed.
Like people are way high on South Carolina, which is nutty. Um, I think their toughest two games. I think they beat LSU. Honestly, we're not picking games yet, but we'll do that. That's probably been one of our picks. I think Clemson wins that game personally. With it being at Clemson is huge.
Yeah.
Um, and LSU in the
Georgia
opener
Tech
for
should
these
scare
tough
them because
games.
Georgia Tech has a history, especially under Brett Key, of playing up but also playing down when they don't need to, but they play up to their
Yeah,
opponents really well.
and it's early in the season
Correct.
too.
Case King shouldn't be hurt
That's the
yet.
third game of the season. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, you have a fresh Haynes King.
For sure.
But I'm going to go ahead and just say we don't have to do all the formalities. We'll just go ahead and say we all have Clemson as our winner in the
Yeah.
ACC.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Dark horses, though. Will, you had a little preview a while ago. You're picking Stanford.
Yeah, I am picking Stanford.
Um,
I am picking Stanford. I think I'm probably the only person in America to do it. I think I also told you boys I'd also be the only person to pick them in the WAC or in the Sun Belt if they were even in those conferences. That's how bad the Cardinal are right now. But yeah, I
Oh,
looked.
yeah.
I
yeah.
was thinking dark horse. How dark can we get it? So yeah, Stanford it was. But
Who you guys are
who was your official dark horse,
Ge-
though? I actually forgot.
Georgia
Georgia
Tech.
Tech. Yeah,
Georgia
yeah,
Tech. Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to
Syracuse.
pick.
Come on,
I'm
bro.
going to pick North Carolina as my dark
Wow.
horse.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it is just it's all the what if game. But I think that if Belichick can come in and create a structure and create a good and generate offense, I think he's got a good staff on hand. and I think based on their schedule too, it's not overly loaded. I mean, I think they got a chance to have a decent run. So I mean, I think this is obviously a very. It's why you call it a dark. That's why I call it the dark horse because it's all depends on how things go. But I think if the stars can align the right way, I mean, I think they can have a solid year for sure. So
Yeah, I've been flip flopping with two. Again, Louisville wouldn't be that big of a dark horse because I think they're in the top 3 or 4 teams in the conference. So I'm going to go down the Tobacco Road a little bit, and we're going to go Duke. I think they have a very manageable schedule. I think defensively, you know what you're going to get, so they're going to win games and stay close in games that they probably shouldn't be in based on their defense alone. Um, I'm curious to see what this Tulane transfer quarterback's going to do in a little bit better competition. Although he did play in some big games last year against your Navies, against your Memphises, we kind of broke that down last week. Um, so I'm going to go Duke. I like what Manny Diaz is doing there. Solid defensive team, and yeah, I'm going to go Duke.
just got to find a way to score points.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Right. Well, that's the layout. Lucas got to start working on your graphics again, dude. So.
I guess I got to get my Photoshop skills up, man.
There you go.
Last year was brutal.
Yep. And we want to hear everybody else's picks too, so we'll send it out on Facebook and all that good stuff. Kind of hear your feedback, kind of who you're gonna pick. Once we get all the conference winners put together, we'll send that out, and that way everybody else can get in on the action too. So
what's next week?
Next week we
Big
12.
12.
Big 12.
This one will probably be the most
The big
interesting
bad Big
aside from
12.
SEC. Like SEC, we've been hinting at you guys. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think Big 12 will be this could be the one where we might differ the most, just because the Big 12 is so convoluted and equal across the playing field that I mean we could project all
Yeah.
we want. Nobody knows a daggum thing about the Big 12. It's gonna be a dogfight.
No.
For sure. And I think the Big 12 and ACC are pretty comparable if you take out Clemson. All
I
right.
agree.
That's probably
If you take
true.
out Clemson from the ACC, there's a lot of parity in there.
Man,
You take Colorado, the Big 12, and
yeah, but I mean
Yeah, come on.
that's what I was gonna say. Like we listed some bottom feeders in the ACC. Like how many bottom feeders is there in the Big 12? Like
That's what I mean. I think top to bottom, the Big 12 is more competitive
yeah,
than the ACC
and
is.
the Big 12's
Just
playing a lot of Power
overall,
Fives in their out of conferences. So like you could you could very well see a Big 12 winner have like 8 wins because they've played so much out of conference tough too that they lose. Like it's gonna be very interesting the Big 12 this year. Super excited.
I agree.
diving in, boys.
That's right. It's
1
almost
week
here.
closer. What are we at 33 days now?
I think something like that.
6 Saturdays,
I think it was
boys.
40 last week.
6 Saturdays after yesterday, so
Coming
5 I
up.
think now.
5
Dang.
days.
Almost here.
We need 5 more followers so we can go live.
Yep,
So.
5 followers to go.
That's all I got.
That's it.
Well, Will, we appreciate you calling in.
Yep.
We appreciate everybody listening and all that good stuff. So, depending on how things go, you might see Will's face more than anything, unless I can get the format switched. But we'll see how it goes. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, we appreciate everybody listening, watching, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. And until next time, we'll see you next week.
See you.